Yes, Avdiivka has been abandoned. There's nothing to be done, the threat of encirclement, people need to be saved, there's no point in clinging to the ruins of a destroyed city. 2 years of heavy fighting, 2 years of Russia beating against its walls, but still broke through. Neither artillery, nor armor, nor meat assaults, nothing helped, but everything was decided by guided bombs. Air bombs weighing half a ton to a ton demolished the fortifications, plus a severe shortage of shells, and the troops had to be withdrawn. In Russian media and in comments under my videos there is joy, Russians as if they had taken Berlin again, as if there were no tens of thousands killed and hundreds of units of burned equipment. A new Verdun, but really just a suburb of Donetsk. It's bad, but not fatal. Given the losses, the enemy will not be able to build on the success. The nearest major city is like walking to the moon. There is a continuous agglomeration, one village passes into another and so to Sloviansk and Kramatorsk or Pavlograd, depending on which way to move. But in general, the situation is difficult on the whole front, with ammunition problem, we need to change something. Or they will continue to crawl, losses do not matter to them, even 500,000, even 1 million. Military historians will study the events of the war in Ukraine, including the Battle of Avdiivka, and the main question they will be interested in is, what was it? When storming Avdiivka, the Russian side lost 50,000 people and about 1,000 tanks and armored vehicles, which gives some idea of what kind of hell was there. But even given the absolutely cannibalistic nature of the Russian regime, there must be some sense in such losses. And there doesn't seem to be. Say Avdiivka would have been the last stronghold of the AFU and behind it the operational space opened up, and behind it Russian mechanized strategic reserves were waiting for their turn to rush into the breakthrough along the diverging directions. For example to Kyiv and the Dnipro. But nothing of the sort, the AFU withdrew to the next line of defense, the Donetsk agglomeration is indeed captured, but next will be Kramatorsk and Sloviansk agglomerations, and this is 10 years of continuous construction of fortifications. 6 major cities and several hundred settlements, each of which must be stormed head-on, because the front line is relatively stable and flank bypasses are not expected. And they don't know how to do these rounds. The simple calculation shows that to achieve say Pavlograd it is necessary to spend another 500,000 people, and even more. Or another scenario, negotiations are about to be held, a peace agreement is about to be concluded and it is necessary to capture as much as possible in time to bargain from more favorable positions. But there are no negotiations or even intentions, and who will negotiate with them about what? Avdiivka cost Putin and his generals 3 times more than 10 years of war in Afghanistan or twice as much as the 2 Chechen wars combined. And this is despite the fact that at the most critical moment the Allies essentially left Ukraine without shells and aid. But that will change, and soon enough. Then every next Avdiivka will be 2 or 3 times more expensive. And this is only the southeast of Ukraine, and there is much more. It is relevant to recall the story of Bakhmut, which the enemy also considered a great victory, having spent a huge amount of reserves there and barely squeezed the Ukrainians out of the shattered city.